investments. I'll be your host in today's investment webinar on Conradie Park, Pinelands. Thanks very much for taking the time to join this webinar this morning. Just to give you a little bit of background on Relative Excellence. Relative Excellence has been specializing in new developments for the last 42 years. Our business registration 1976. We've got a team of 80 agents in Cape Town, and we've been really excited to be involved in Conradie Park with the joint venture between Concord and Western Cape Government. Our team of experience on Conradie Park is close to 300 years experience. All the units have been approved by all the banks, and we are really excited to bring this to the market. Today's breakdown of topics is really, just wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown on what's happening in real estate sales, what's happening in the property market. You know, is it still a good time to be buying property? You know, should I rent versus buy property? And you know, is property still a good investment? So I'm actually going to start with that this morning, and really start with regarding to what's happening in Cape Town. And I always like starting with population growth. Population has grown by 30% over the last 15 years. You're looking at around 4.7 million people. So you know, you've always got a growing population. You've got a lot of people that's wanting to live in Cape Town from Joburg, from a lifestyle position. So Cape Town's very fortunate that we've got a lot of lifestyle to offer, you know, from the West Coast, East Coast, the Winelands to, you know, Atlantic Seaboard from a lifestyle point of view. So, you know, Cape Town is always going to be a really good investment opportunity. And then, you know, the question is, where do you invest? You know, the interest rates are the lowest it's been in 47 years. So, you know, it is really the best time to buy. And the reason why we say that is that interest rates are low. The banks are lending. Banks' approval ratios are sitting at around 86%. So every bond that we do, 86% of those bonds are approved. The banks are giving 100% loans, which in a new development is always great, because you're buying now, you're not paying for the units. The units are going to be finished July, August next year. You're getting capital growth for free, using the bank's money. So literally you're getting 100% bond, and using the bank's money, you're getting capital growth on that. And you know, at the beginning of this year, the interest rates were 2.5% higher, which means right now you can afford a bigger bond, and your returns are a lot better from a rental return. So really the best time to be buying property. This just shows you at the beginning of the year, interest rates at 9.75%. We're now sitting at 7.75%. So let's say a bond of R1 million at the beginning of the year would cost you 9,400. It's now going to cost you 8,200. So it's a mega difference. You're saving a lot on the monthly, but also your interest over the long term is there's massive savings. So what's happening in sales? So everyone talks about property market crashing. I've been doing this myself for the last 22 years, and every year, every 5 years, the market does adjust, does adapt. Biggest thing that people need to understand in property is always a long-term investment. It's not a short-term, 1 year, 2 year. You need to look over the long term. Property, in my opinion, is still one of the best investments if you invest in the right markets. You need to understand what is selling, you know, what are your returns, what is your risk. And this graph in front of you just illustrates what sales have been doing up to March 2020. So this graph shows us what percentage sales in on certain price brackets. So at the end of the day, yes, the market is taking strain. High-end luxury properties are under major pressure, and there are still good buys to be had. So if you look at 5% of the whole market sold over 3 million. So these are properties that sold in the deeds office registration across the whole South Africa over the last 16 months. So 5% of the whole market was over 3 million. 16% of the market was from 1.5 to 3 million. 25% of the market was from 800 to 1.5. So if you look at close to 95% was all properties under 3 million. So I see, and our view is, properties under 1.5 are always going to do well. There's a bigger market for it. People are getting bonds on it. It's less risk. It's easier to rent out. And we see that's going to be the trend over the next 12 months. If you look at capital growth, this is by province. Cape Town's still looking at around 3.6% capital growth. And your national average is sitting at around 2.5. Yes, unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball. No one saw COVID hitting South Africa and the globe. So I do think that this is going to be under pressure for the next 6 months. and it's going to take a while for that, and that's really in upmarket properties. So if you look at this graph, inflation, your high value properties around 700 to 1.5 million is your medium term. Those are still getting good returns, getting good capital growth. Properties over 1.5 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million up are going to see negative growth over the next 2 years. And that's just, it's really simple maths, is that there is less people that can afford, let's say, a bond of 3 million, which means you have to earn 90,000 Rand a month. And we know that incomes are going to be under pressure for the next 12 months. You know, the question comes across, is property still a good investment? Absolutely. If you look at what happened with the stock market over COVID versus property, we had spikes some 50, 60% where companies lost basically their full value. Property, we know there's a roof. People are always going to want to aspire to own their property in South Africa, in Cape Town, and there is either going to be someone to rent that property because they want to get up into the property ladder, and over the long term, property is still a way better investment. So that is what's been happening in the market. Conradie Park has been super exciting. It's just not another development. It's a new town that's been developed where you can live, connect, inspire. And Concord, you know, over 100 years building experience, development experience. I mean, they've built half of Cape Town, you know, from the Cape Town Stadium to buildings in the waterfront to the cable car on Table Mountain. They've done some mega projects, and it's really exciting to work with a company like Concord and the Western Cape government to bring you this new town. And Conradie Park, just to give you a little bit of indication, the position and the locality is absolutely key. Old Mutual, close to 9,000 employees working there. It's 600 meters away from Old Mutual. 11 k's from the CBD, 8 k's to UCT, 11 k's to the Cape Town International Airport. So within 10 kilometers, you're in the center of getting close to town, to the airport, and you don't have many of these development opportunities left in Cape Town. So position is absolutely key. Conradie Park is not just another development, it is a place where you have active streets, there's commercial and retail, community integration, parks and outdoor spaces, safe and secure. So, you know, the biggest element, if you look at the position of Conradie Park and what does it consist of, you've got a commercial retail precinct where you'll have your different shops, restaurants, dentists, doctors. Then you've got a 150 key hotel. You've got basically 2 major entrances into Conradie Park, and then you've got the residential precinct with a private school, which will cater from grade R all the way up to university. And then you've got the community hall, 3 pocket parks, and a 22,000 linear park. So the best way to explain this amazing new town of the future is that imagine you live in this new town, and in the morning you wake up, you drop your kids off at school while you're walking, and you then go to the shops, you go to work, or on your bicycle or electric scooter without getting in your car. And one of the biggest elements of what we are selling in this lifestyle is not having to get into your car, not having to get into a car for 2 hours every day of your life, 5 days a week, and really just creating a town of the future where you can live, work, play, educate, in a safe environment where your kids can go to the parks. These pocket parks with surveillance cameras, wider streets, that it becomes a town like back in the day where your kids can go play, feel safe and secure. And not only just being a Conradie Park. I mean, to give you the scale of this new town, you're looking, the population of Pinelands and Thornton is close to 11,000 people. If you look at Conradie Park, you're going to have close to 11,000 people living, working in this community. So this is not just another development. It's an opportunity for people to own their first property in a safe, secure, and upmarket environment. So it's really, really exciting. Some of the figures that is part of the housing, commercial, hotel, retail, and the school. And really the breakdown of it, it's centrally located. It's got active streets, 24/7 monitoring, pedestrian and bicycle friendly streets, green and sustainable technology, modern architecture designed for the future, community, convenience, retail, shopping, 150 key hotel, business hub, 3 creches, 2 schools, 3 pocket parks, 22,000 linear park, fiber ready with free Wi-Fi hotspots, pet friendly. Then if you look at what the developers are putting in the surrounding upgrades, Concours is putting 400 million upgrade into Forest Drive, a dedicated NMP, which is non-motorized transport route from Conradie Park along Forest Drive extension towards the railway station with security and lighting and cameras. And that for me is super exciting, where you've got close to 9,000 people working at Old Mutual. You can now walk home or get on a bicycle in the SAF, and you can use the facilities that are around it, plus new bridges to link Old Mutual Railway, new intersection with Old Mutual in the corner of Jan Smuts and Forest Drive. And this is going to create over 2,000 jobs. And in these times, to create jobs in this economy on what's happened with COVID, this is a massive boost into job creation in South Africa, close to 3 billion rand investment to the South African economy. This is Conradie Park from the air. As you can see, these are the extension of the roads. Here you can see Old Mutual, literally 600 meters away. You can see the new bridge. There's a pedestrian bridge from Thornton. So even though that Conradie Park is like a new town, they're opening these facilities. So Thornton can come and use the facilities, come and use the parks, come and shop, let their kids go to school without getting into a car. So really, really exciting. Our first phase of Conradie Park is Kirstenbosch. Kirstenbosch, a really upmarket, trendy new block, aluminium windows, face brick, so you can see the section from the courtyard area, fully landscaped, really trendy upmarket, and it's all about sustainability. We've gone a brick. Any new development, it's amazing. 2 years, 3 years, after 5 years, the paint, it's still now, you need to start getting special levies, you need to now repaint. This has been planned and designed that it's something that's sustainable for the future. The little piazza area with little shops, wide roads going in between the whole development. Interior design really been well designed with really upmarket trendy finishes, vinyl flooring, track lighting. If you look at the kitchen with engineered stone, big windows, terraces onto balconies, your bathrooms, frameless glass, built-in toilets, mixer taps. So really trendy, funky, and it's been designed to create a live outdoor sort of workspace. If you look at the first phase, it's got basement parking, concierge security, elevators. So this opens the market to first-time home buyers. We've sold quite a few properties to clients that are wanting to downscale from big houses and big gardens, where they can now live in a secure environment, and at the end of the day, it's more sustainable, it's more cost effective. You've got prepaid water, electricity, so it's been thought of for all types of clients, from a young starter home to investor to someone lock up and go. So really exciting. Construction has started on the services. Completion, we're looking at mid to end of 2021. And financials, basically you need a 3% deposit. We can get 100% bonds. Includes your transfer costs, just excluding your bond cost. You can see the guys are already onto site. They're already establishing the site, putting the services in. Really amazing shots from our drone, just showing how close it is to the center of Cape Town, and that's really is what is key. From an investment snapshot, studios, this is our rental predictions in today's market. We haven't inflated these prices because we do know that the rentals are under pressure. So we've been very realistic in our research. The studio will rent at 8.5, a 1-bed 9.5, 2-bed 12 to 15, and your bigger units a little bit more. So I always like coming through and saying, I have a lot of clients ask me this, Tony, should I rather rent and see, where things go? And really, bottom line is, if you're renting right now for 7,500 in a month, over 12 months, you're going to basically lose 90,000 rand. So if you have to rent for the next 5 years at 7,500 Rand with no escalation, you're going to lose close to 450,000 Rand. But a lot of people see that, okay, well, I get it. You actually have lost more, because if you had got into the property market at the growth rates that I showed you at the beginning of this presentation at 4% in Cape Town, you're also losing the capital growth because you're not actually in the market. So you're losing 37,000 Rand a month, or over the year. Over the 5 years, it's another 205,000 Rand. So if you rent, you're going to lose close to 655,000 Rand over 5 years. So question, should I rent or buy? The quicker you can get into the market, the better for yourself. New developments are really successful, and if the reason for that is you buying in today's price, you're getting a bond, 100% bond. So the bank is basically funding your whole investment. You're not paying a thing until registration is, so let's say registration is July, August next year. It gives you a full year to save maybe a bigger deposit or furniture if it's your first home. Without even doing anything, you've already made money on your investment. So for example, if you're buying a studio at 949, you're going to put down 29,000 Rand down now. Your bond repayment, which only kicks in when you take transfer August next year, is 8,143. Your rental income is 7,500 Rand, which means you really only have to put in let's say 1,000 Rand plus with your levies. You're going to have capital growth of 39,000 Rand. So next year, by the time the property is registered in your name, you've already made 39,000 Rand, which means you would have got 100% of your money that you put into that investment. So at the end of the day, these type of developments are still the best way to get into the market. One bedroom at 1499, deposit of 45,000, your repayment is going to be 12,800, renter income 10,000 Rand, your capital growth at 4%, 59,000. Your full money is basically made in year one, and the balance of the money the banks give, the rental will pay a big portion of your bond, and it makes a really, really good investment. So we're really excited to be in this project. Our sales have been really strong even in the lockdown. These webinars, we've been averaging close to 90 people in the webinar for the last 6 weeks. We've done some good sales, and we've had a lot of excitement. If you are interested to see if you qualify for this project, our team is on hand. Today's presentation will be emailed to you with a video with the availability list. We do have exciting projects which will be launching in the next 2 months for first-time home buyers, which with subsidies. So we're going to have something for everyone in Conradie Park, and we're excited to be able to present this through to you. And thank you for taking the time to be in today's webinar. Our team will be in contact with regarding to the availability. We do pre-qualification, so we can actually get our bond team, Better Bond, to check, do you qualify, how much do you qualify for? If you've got any questions with regarding to the development, and please reach out to our team, Ruan, Tamsin, or Jason. You will be getting an email from Tamsin in the course of today with regarding to any questions and a copy of today's recording. So I thank you very much for taking the time joining us today, and we look forward to seeing if we can help you on your investments project. Thanks very much, and chat to you soon.